the Trump administration has escalated sanctions against Chinese companies recently. So both Huawei and TikTok have already entered the entity list of the US. And recently, Donald Trump threatened to ban WeChat, which has triggered opposition from many American companies. So what's your interpretation on these moves, and what kind of impact will this have on the American companies?
Well, it's obviously the policy is what I would call technological apartheid. The United States has found itself kind of in the back burner in terms of technology development. 5G, AI, quantum communications is being developed most prominently by China. And instead of doing what any normal country would do, say, well, we should get together and do better, they're trying to penalize China, and to especially penalize China with regard to the high-tech industries. But it can't really keep people from developing if they have the will, the capability, and the smarts to move forward. And already now we're seeing that very few American companies under this pressure from the US government are going to leave China. They want to be there. It's a big market. They enjoy it. I think they're treated well. I think they feel that they're treated well, and they're going to stay. And of course, many American companies, especially in the high-tech field of communications, like Silicon Valley, their relationship with China, with the Chinese market, with Chinese firms, is really the lifeblood.
In your opinion, the European countries do receive pressure from the U.S.
Oh, absolutely. I think the latest is, I'm not sure if it's been confirmed, but Italy, which of course has been has a memorandum of understanding with China on the Belt and Road Initiative, has been under tremendous pressure. Most recently, the U.S. said that they would withdraw, or that they would force Italy out of NATO if Italy cooperates with Huawei and brings Huawei into their communication system. In spite of the fact that the U.S. economy is not in very good shape, there's still the military power of the United States, which is being used, and the so-called soft power, which probably isn't as great as it had been in earlier years, to try and convince these countries, or to bully and to pressure these countries that they will take measures against them if they don't cooperate with the U.S. in this anti-China campaign. And if this continues, this is going to be very, very bad for the U.S. and U.S.-China relations. And the policy of the United States at the present moment is extremely dangerous, because by trying to cut that thread of the global network that exists as the basis of our trade and our prosperity, you're going to lead to conflict, perhaps even military conflict, unless that is changed.
Right now, apart from the COVID-19, the rise of unilateralism has also brought uncertainties to the world economy and service trade, right? So, in your opinion, how do you think the countries around the world should cooperate to promote economic and trade integration? And what is China's role in this process?
Because of the important role that China plays in the world economy, and has played and will continue to play for some time to come. And China was one of the first countries to be affected by COVID, had also the most brilliant performance in overcoming it. In terms of getting back to work, getting back in business, China is really on the forefront. And the trade fair, which is now occurring in Beijing, is an example of that. Something like that is not happening anywhere else, especially not in my country, where the problem seems to have gotten more and more out of control. And it will take a while for us to recover, requiring also a certain change of political orientation than what we've had in the last few months. If we're going to solve some of the problems that are still remaining with regard to COVID and with regard to economic development, we've again got to work together. President Xi had proposed the establishment of a health Silk Road. This is an excellent idea to bring to bear the forces of medicine worldwide for all the countries is extremely important. If you look at what's happening in Africa and in Latin America now, They do not have the same developed medical systems as exist in China or exist in Europe and the United States. And therefore, they're going to need a lot more help from the outside in order to get things moving. And the second part of that is, of course, the economic development. People realize that underdevelopment creates a serious flaw in which countries can be totally overrun by diseases and epidemics. And therefore, the notion of development, which has been the forefront of course, the Belt and Road Initiative, is now, I think, on the forefront of people's agenda. And there are people here in the U.S. who are working against this, but they're really not in step with the historical situation as we see it today.